This is the tale of the river Styx. The soil beneath the manicured lawns of a quiet suburban neighborhood named River Styx did not just hold the roots of oak trees and hydrangeas, it held a legion of slumbering monsters. Long before the homes were built, the site had been a grand failed ambition, a massive, uncompleted canal intended to harness the flow of Poseidon's waters for industrial power. But the project went bankrupt, leaving behind a deep, stagnant trench. The neighborhood was literally built along the banks of a dead waterway. It was an empty scar in the earth, and the industrial corporation used that abandoned channel as a convenient trench to dump tens of thousands of tons of chemical bile. Benzene, dioxins, and a cocktail of dozens of other chemical horrors sat stewing in the dark. Encased in rusting metal cocoons like iron tombs, these toxic beasts waited patiently at the bottom of the buried canal beneath a thin shroud of clay, pacing in their subterranean cage right beneath the feet of the living. Then the rains came. The sky wept relentlessly, and the earth grew sick, finally vomiting up the phantoms it had tried to swallow. The clay cap ruptured, and the old canal bed became exactly what its name foretold, a literal, modern incarnation of the mythological river Styx, the toxic boundary line where the world of the dead breaks through the soil to claim the living. Across the unsuspecting streets, a black, oily ooze began to crawl upward, bubbling through the basement floors like a dark, parasitic entity clawing its way back from the underworld. The sludge bled from the walls, it pooled in the backyards, its corrosive breath transforming lush lawns into a scorched graveyard where nothing could survive. In the playgrounds of River Styx, children ran through glowing skeletal puddles that bit and burned their flesh. They played with strange jagged rocks that sparked with a ghostly, unnatural fire when struck against the pavement. The air hung heavy with a rancid choking stench, the putrid exhalation of subterranean leviathan that the residents could never quite scrub from their skin. But the true horror was the silent spectral invasion inside the quiet homes. These chemical phantoms passed invisibly through brick and wood, crossing the threshold from the deep trench to slip into the bedrooms and cribs, tainting the bloodlines of the living. Suddenly, River Styx was gripped by a walking nightmare. A terrifying spike in miscarriages, children born marked with severe, inexplicable deformities and aggressive illnesses that tore through the young families. Like the ancient spirits buried across the mythical river of death, the residents were being pulled into the dark. Eventually, the state of normalcy completely collapsed. Flashing sirens replaced the quiet evening crickets. A federal emergency was declared, and hundreds of terrified families fled the hunting grounds, leaving behind a hollowed-out, boarded-up ghost town centered around a buried trench of poison. While the tragedy of River Styx unfolded, a sleeping giant in the government was shocked awake by the cries of the haunted community. National waste management and environmental containment laws had been drafted beforehand, but they lacked teeth. They were mere spells written on paper while real-world monsters roamed free and unchecked. The curse of River Styx proved that without ironclad chains, corporations would treat abandoned infrastructure and empty canals as shallow graves to hide their lethal, unholy byproducts. The horror of these unleashed beasts forced regulators to finally weaponize their hazardous waste frameworks, forging a strict cradle-to-the-grave protocol to bind these monsters from birth to death. These protocols included the Mark of Generation. From the exact millisecond a toxic beast is born in a laboratory or factory, it must be branded, cataloged, and tracked. It can no longer be hidden away in the dark. The chain of custody. Every iron cage, every transport truck, and every drop of venomous waste must carry a permanent paper trail. If a single phantom slips away or goes missing in transit, the wardens are alerted instantly. The final vault. Disposing of these entities is no longer a matter of digging a ditch behind a school or filling in a canal. Modern hazardous containment sites are built as high-tech fortresses, locked down under layers of synthetic armor, subterranean leak detection eyes, and permanent monitoring to ensure the monsters are buried so deep they can never claw their way back to the surface. The tragedy of River Styx was the ghost story that changed environmental oversight forever. It exposed a terrifying truth. What we bury alive in the dark will always find a way to hunt us. This is the tale of the River Styx.